Retro gaming, there's always been an incredible fascination with it. It's been around forever, ever since the original ZX Spectrum, even further back, the BBC Micro, which used 5¼ inch floppy disks. There's always been an incredible fascination with where games came from, how they've evolved into these mega AAA blockbusters, which we have today in 2019 and going into 2020. The production levels have gone through the roof, but there's always been this amazing love with retro gaming. And as you can see in front of me, we're kind of spoiled for choices these days. No longer do you necessarily have to be clever with a PC and source some old ROM emulators and play that way. Back in 2016, Nintendo were actually one of the first to give the opportunity, or to create the opportunity, of playing some of their finest collection of games in a modern and entertainment environment setting. So your HD TV is a little plug and play system. So this was the guy that came out here, and it was basically a miniaturized version of the Nintendo Entertainment System that we all had from our childhood. Well, some of us had, some of us were lucky enough to have in our childhood back in the 80s. I myself was very much lucky enough to have one of these. It was my first proper games console. And this was really a bit of a trendsetter for this miniaturized version. In 2016, November, I believe it launched. It sold like hotcakes. It was incredibly limited and rare, and it just exploded. Everybody wanted one. It was the Christmas gift to have, which was ironic considering the same year the Nintendo Switch also launched, but they were almost kind of cannibalizing their sales just a little bit, more so for the adult market. The Switch was obviously new. It was very much aimed at kind of younger children, whereas this was very much a super nostalgia trip for gamers like myself and that kind of age bracket. I won't get into the ages because it makes me feel really, really old. So that was really the first one that kind of spiraled this. And then switch forward a couple of years later, Nintendo brought out a follow-up, and that was the Super Nintendo Mini. And by this point, other developers are thinking, okay, we got to jump on this. This is quite an incredible formula that Nintendo have yet again tapped into, getting all of their classic games into a little housing which is an exact replica, only miniaturized from those original consoles. Genius, really, when you think about it, and actually pretty simple. But up until that point, we've kind of had sometimes not very great ROM emulators. Some have been fantastic, obviously, but we've never had an official endorsement of a way to really play some of these classic games. Back in 2019, PlayStation jumped on the bandwagon as well, and they brought out their version of the PlayStation 1 Mini, kind of to coincide with the 25th anniversary of the console as well. And this has been having somewhat mixed reviews in terms of the quality of the emulation, which is pretty disappointing, but it did have some fantastic games on there, but not necessarily the best type of emulation to experience those games. But anyway, as you can see, I'm a collector of these mini consoles, so I just wanted to have one for the collection piece as well. But the biggest thing going against that was the choice of games, and that was mostly because a lot of the pioneering games that were synonymous with the PlayStation 1 were all mostly third party. I'm thinking Tomb Raider, mostly. Games like Soul Reaver, you know, they were all third-party games. You know, Crash Bandicoot was an Activision game. It wasn't a first-party Sony title, so the choice of games to put on the system were a little bit disappointing, but at the same time, we got Metal Gear Solid 1, so I'm kind of happy with that. And it is just a straightforward plug-and-play type of system. Now, this video is about the big one for me, and that is the SEGA Mega Drive Mini. When I was a little boy, I really kind of bounced between being a Nintendo kid and a Sega kid, but for some reason, the Sega seems to be the one I associate and have the fondest nostalgia for. I love my Nintendos. I never had a Super Nintendo actually, but I had an NES, and at that point I switched over to the Sega Mega Drive. I had that for years. Sonic the Hedgehog, Golden Axe, you know, Streets of Rage, Final Fight, Street Fighter with a 6-button control pad, all that craziness, and I had that for the longest time until the N64 came out, and that's when I jumped back to Nintendo. But my formative years, I like to pretend that it was really dominated by the SEGA Mega Drive Mini. So we're going to cart all of this stuff out of the way, and we're going to have a really good look at the SEGA Mega Drive Mini console, as well as these two official 6-button controllers, which you unfortunately have to buy separately. It doesn't come with the 6-button controllers, it only comes with the standard original 3-button control pad, but we're going to have a really good look at what these have to offer, and maybe even try and cut in some gameplay footage as well. Okay, so we've got all of those other consoles out of the way, and now we're going to be taking a really good look at the official SEGA Mega Drive Mini 16-bit console. Really the main console I like to think of when I get nostalgic about my childhood. So let's really unbox this, and then we will take a look at the two official SEGA Mega Drive 6-button controllers. You're going to need these if you really want to get the best out of the classic Street Fighter 2 games, which come pre-installed, of course, as part of the collection for this console. So move these out of the way and be very careful with a very sharp knife, because we're going to have to do a little bit of unboxing on this, and I think there may be some sealed bits to it. So let's go. Oh, actually, I'm lucky. There's no seals on this one. There are seals on these ones, so that's fine. Okay, I love how they've just taken, and it's the same with all of these mini consoles, they've taken the original like box artwork, which was about this size, and then they've made it nice and tiny. It's so cute and adorable, I love it. So first up, if I could slide this out. Oh, here we go. So this feels like, aha, so we do have some cellophane bits, so be very careful with a sharp knife. So look at this. Oh my goodness. Nostalgia. Look at that. Holy crap. If I set that up there, look at that. That is, oh my goodness. A full size. I like that they haven't miniaturized the controllers, thankfully. They've kept the controllers full size. That is the original SEGA Mega Drive 3-button controller, and that is just gorgeous. It always was a gorgeous controller. Honestly, way more comfortable than the SNES controllers. You can argue all you like, but I know I'm right, especially for me. This is just insanely beautiful. If I just hold that around to the camera, you can really get a little bit of a look at just what it's like. I mean, the buttons, I don't know if it's just the way I remember it, or if it is the way it actually was, but it feels just like the original controllers. That is fantastic. So we'll pop that to the side there. We'll get rid of the packaging, chuck that to the side, and we'll take out the other controller because it's great. Oh, what's that? That looks like a USB cable that will probably be to power the console. What else we have? We have an HDMI cable. So really nice that this stuff comes bundled in. Sometimes these systems don't come with like a power adapter or an HDMI cable. Sometimes you have to source them yourself, but usually that's not too big of a deal, because if you're anything like me, I have dozens of HDMI cables kicking about and USB cables from various phone chargers. It's usually not that big of a deal, but still, it's really nice to see it bundled in together. And there we go, that is the second controller. Yeah, a good look at that. Basically identical, it's just an exact mold, which is great. So 2 players, 2 controllers, that's obviously great to have. Put over there. And we have SEGA Mega Drive Mini instruction manuals, which we don't really need that. And finally, in its own little box, really nicely packaged, or well packaged I should say. Let's see if I can get this out. Now, here we go. Oh my goodness. It is so tiny. It is, oh my god, that is just, seriously, look at this. Look at that, guys. That is just perfection in terms of its accuracy, in terms of how just the form of the thing is. I mean, even back in the day, if you're lucky enough to have the original full-size one, which I think it was about 4 times the size of this thing, it was such a very cool looking console back in its day, very futuristic. It was black as well, because games consoles of the era, and I'm more talking about the Nintendo line, were like white or like light grey or something, whereas this was slick black. Honestly, it looks like a Cylon's face from Battlestar Galactica or Knight Rider or like Street Hawk, those kind of super gritty, cool 80s TV shows, and that is the vibe that I'm still getting to this day when looking at the SEGA Mega Drive Mini. It's just gorgeous. Now, let's do the ultra satisfying film peel. Here we go. Oh, that's so nice. That's so satisfying. And what is awesome about this, you even have the original reset button, which is there, that little tiny grey little button there. It is actually push. And power on and off is actual working switches, just like it was back in the day. And this is even awesome. This is actually headphone volume as opposed to the master game volume. Look at this. It's actually a little slider switch that works as well. That is just awesome. So on the front, we have 2 USB controller ports, which obviously are for these. And on the back, we have our DC in for power and an HDMI port. And basically that is it. That is everything that you get out of the box with the SEGA Mega Drive Mini. But let's talk a little bit about the games that this thing comes pre-installed with. 40 classic games, so already you're getting more games than either of the previous miniature consoles, retro consoles from other manufacturers. NES, SNES, PlayStation 1, they only come with about, I think, 30 max, whereas this comes with 40. And I gotta admit, the games list is fantastic. So I'm just gonna I'm not gonna rhyme off all of them, but just a few of them. We have, if I can actually read it, Alicia Dragoon, Altered Beast. We have The Story of Thor. We have Mickey, Castle of Illusion, which is probably the one I am most excited for. We have Comic Zone, we have Castlevania, we have Kid Chameleon, Gunstar Heroes, Golden Axe. Of course, it kind of goes without saying that you need to have Golden Axe. You've also got Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Street Fighter 2, I think that's Championship Edition. And what else? Let me see, we have Earthworm Jim, we have Echo the Dolphin, we have Eternal Champions. Who remembers Eternal Champions back in the day? Really bizarre but weird and wonderful 2D beat 'em up. I remember playing that extensively. We've got Road Rash 2, we have Phantasy Star, Toe Jam and Earl, who's that? Dynamite Heady, fantastic. Darius, we have, let's see, we have a Mega Man game there. I can't quite make out the box art though, it's so small and my eyes are getting old, I can't quite make it out. We've got Shinobi 3, we've got World of Illusion with Mickey and Donald. Seriously, that's quite a fantastic set list. So next up, we're going to be taking a look at the 6 button controllers, which you can buy separately, which are kind of essential for a bit of good old-fashioned Street Fighter. Okay, first up is the standard black 6 button controller, and this is actually the one I had originally back in early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. I can't even remember when I actually had or was lucky enough to have a Sega Mega Drive, but I'm hoping that this does everything I remember it to do. Now be very careful when using a sharp knife to open up boxes, kids, or get one of your parents to do it. Let's see, or somebody responsible. There we go, let's just pop this out here. Oh my goodness. Okay. It's exactly as I remember it, it's fantastic. Okay. What's that? Right, set that box there, just to the side, get the translucent one out of the way, we'll save that for later. And if I just pop this out, oh my goodness, seriously? Okay, so we'll have instruction manuals. You don't really need it, because it's plug and play as it's always been. Okay, so really nice USB controller, and look at this. Would you look at that? Let me just hold it up to the second camera so you can get a really good look at it. That is exactly as I remember it. It's got that classic curved shape, but it's a little bit more compact than the original 3-button controller. And as you see, you've got ABC, X, Y, Z up the top as the smaller little grey buttons, and that is identical to I remember it. And you've even got the mode button on the shoulder. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up, maybe not, but it is literally just there. And you can press it and you can hear the click. And seriously, so it's a slightly smaller D-pad, but that is just an immensely satisfying. Let me spin around. Oh, we can't quite get it in camera, but you can kind of see it there. There we go. Just how comfortable that controller was to play. That is just amazing. Oh my goodness. I cannot wait to jump into some classic Street Fighter with this. That is just amazing. Okay, anyway, I'm going to stop saying amazing and crack on with the second controller unboxing. Second controller is the limited edition clear blue one. Now, I was unaware of this particular edition even back in the original era of this console, but whenever there's a clear translucent case controller, I usually have to snap it up. So, oh my goodness, that is the finish, guys. The finish is absolutely stunning. Right, let's pop this out of the box. Seriously, I can't wait to show you this. This is just beautiful. Pop packaging on the floor. Okay. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna keep it under wraps. Keep it under wraps. Look at this. Oh my god, look at that. Look at the finish on that. That is absolutely beautiful. It's funny, the actual box art makes it almost appear just like a slightly like greenish color, and it's because of the circuit boards, the internal circuitry within it. But the actual casing is this beautiful glacier blue color, and my god, that is just gorgeous. Oh wow, look at that. Just get some really nice close-up shots for you. Let me see if I can hold that. There we go. Get the light really bouncing on it for you. That is beautiful. That is really, really incredible. So, there you go. That has been an unboxing video of the SEGA Mega Drive Mini, which is off to the side here, and the two official 6-button controllers, which you can pick up for this mini console, which are really kind of essential, especially if you're going to be playing a bit of classic Street Fighter. It's kind of, you know, you have to get it. I love it. I think ergonomically it's still perfect. It's still really, really comfortable, and I can't wait to try some gameplay. So speaking of gameplay, let's check some out now. Okay everybody, here we are set up fairly crudely. As you can see, I've got the Mega Drive Mini on the big display here. I've got it set up here. I've got cables everywhere just to give you an initial hooking up of the system and a little bit of gameplay and setup. As you can see, a decent length of cable as well. Yay, there we go. So the 3-button controller works pretty straight out of the box. That's good. So let's get the volume up a little bit here as well. There you go. Oh my goodness. Ah! Retro heaven. Look at this. We've got Alex Kidd. Oh my goodness. Oh man, Mickey Castle of Illusion. Let's do that. Oh! Look at this. Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse. Release year 1991, adventure to the land of dreams with Mickey Mouse and his action platformer. Beloved icon and plucky hero ventures into the castle of evil. All right. So fantastic. How to jump? Okay, yeah, that's right. So C is jump. I'm gonna try and hold this to camera as well, so you can really kind of get an idea. Oh man. Mario is good and all, but you can't beat a bit of, you know, World of Illusion here. Oh no, not paying attention. Okay, so you can't jump on them either. Okay. No, it's just avoidance more than anything. How did I jump on them? Oh, that's interesting. It's such a cool nostalgia trip. Oh my goodness. Strider, oh my goodness. But I want to see if I can get the 6-button controller working. Hey, there we go. So it was just the initial menu screen. Okay, let's do Street Fighter. We're Street Fighter. Earthworm Jim. Virtua Fighter 2? Are you kidding me? There's Monster World back there. There we go. Street Fighter Special Championship Edition. 1993 this game came out. That is crazy. Okay. I mean, this is gaming royalty right here. Okay, let's crack on. We'll just do, yeah, game start. Yeah, it's gotta be Ken. my goodness. Oh! Oh, whoops, what did I press? Eek, sorry. Return to game. Return to game. There we go. Ah! Oh my goodness. I'm so rusty with a gamepad. I'm so used to playing with a... Ah, no. Oh, I should have uppercut it already. Oh, no! Oh, no! It's going to be a close call here. Oh! Got my ass kicked. Oh, well, never mind. So guys, there you go. That has been our in-depth look at the Sega Mega Drive Mini from Sega, as well as the official 6-button gamepads as well. Kind of essential, especially for Street Fighter. So thank you for watching this video, and if you have enjoyed it, then leave a comment down below in the chat and we'll do our best to reply to any questions that you may have. But for now, take care and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.